Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. This party hates you. It's as simple as that. The RNC, the Republican establishment, hates you. They have disdain in their hearts for their own voter base. There's no other way to describe it, there's no other way to say it. Republican voters want something, and the GOP establishment essentially gives you the middle finger and gives you the exact opposite. And that's what we have today, as the RNC has just voted Ronna Romney McDaniel to another term as the chairwoman of the RNC. Yep. I really thought failing upwards or failing sideways was a phenomenon that existed mostly on the left, but of course it's just as prevalent in the uniparty Washington right, supposed right. Another massive slap in the face, coming right off the whole Lindsey Graham nonsense. The RNC does it again, never fails to deliver the most disappointing of news. Of course, it's not surprising, but it's news nonetheless, and we gotta have a conversation about it. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, here it is. Here's the headline breaking. Ronna McDaniel declared winner of the RNC chair election.
Mike Lindell received 4 votes, Harmeet Dillon received 51 votes, and Ronna McDaniel received 111 votes. So I'm pleased to announce Ronna McDaniel has been elected chairman of the Republican National Committee, and the gavel is yours. Congratulations.
And really, it wasn't even close. I mean, props to Harmeet Dillon, she did quite well, receiving 51 votes in total, but Ronna McDaniel received the lion's shares of the votes and officially is speaker once again. And for me, the issue is just failure. It's like a basic standard. The last 3 election cycles have been disastrous. In what field do you spearhead the effort, in this case, the effort to win elections, come up with the game plan, support the candidates, move around the money? You fail 3 times in a row, yet you keep getting reelected and placed into the same position. It's shameful enough that the RNC would vote Ronna McDaniel back into that position. It's even worse that Ronna McDaniel hasn't resigned herself in shame. And here's where I'm going to get into a little bit of conspiracy theory. Romney McDaniel, I think, is an anti-Trump plant. An establishment plant meant to work against Donald Trump. She's now announcing, after winning her re-election to an unprecedented 4th term, that this is her last term as chair.
Is this your last term?
This is my last term as chair. I'm saying it on Fox News. It's done. This is my last term. I know how hard it is to ramp up with a new chair. I wanted to keep that consistency. We've made a lot of changes in my tenure with voter registration, minority outreach. The things that we've done have been historic. We need to continue that into this next election, and then I'm happily going to pass the gavel to somebody else.
The chairman or the chairwoman of a political party serves a 2-year term. She served for the last 6 years and is now going on her 4th term up to 2024, which will make 8 years. She came in right when Donald Trump was elected, and Mitt Romney's little niece here is conveniently going to retire after the next election, which is pretty much guaranteed to be Donald Trump's last shot at running again. I'm smelling sabotage. The kind of Lindsey Graham sabotage that we've been covering, the Mitch McConnell kind of sabotage, the Ronna McDaniel kind of sabotage of funding anti-Trump candidates, strategizing with Democrats to stop those Trump candidates. I can't think of any other explanation. There's no way, unless you're an absolute egomaniac, that you would stay in that position. Ronna McDaniel was the least favorable candidate for that position. She knows people don't want her. She's had 6 years of failure on her belt, yet she stays. Either she's a masochist or she's an egomaniac. Or, third option, she's part of some deep state plan to get in Donald Trump's way. It's funny because in that interview, she was going on about how she believed that she had such incredible support because of all the work she's done.
Well, I felt like I had strong support from the committee because they really want to keep the consistency of the things we've done, voter registration, election integrity, and they know it's such a pivotal time heading into a presidential election, so they wanted to keep that.
She claims that she has such incredible support, yeah, maybe from RNC party members, but certainly not from the people. Most GOP voters want new RNC chair. Fewer than 1 in 5 Republican voters want to see Ronna Romney McDaniel re-elected as chair of the Republican National Committee. A new Rasmussen Reports national television and online survey finds that just 15% of likely Republican voters support McDaniel for another run as RNC chair. 30% of GOP voters support businessman Mike Lindell. She's literally losing to the pillow guy. She has half of his support. 20% support attorney Harmeet Dillon, and 15% don't support any 3 of the candidates, and 21% are undecided. She's the least supported candidate in the pool. Yet we saw the exact opposite, the inverse result from the actual vote for RNC chair. Mike Lindell, who voters support the most, had the least amount of support. Harmeet Dillon in second place, and Ronna McDaniel, the least popular candidate for this job, wins by a landslide. This party doesn't represent the voters. This party represents a shadow elite agenda that voters are getting in the way of, it seems. I mean, even Ron DeSantis went on the record saying that change would probably be a good thing.
Huge majorities of the people think the country's going in the wrong direction. That is an environment that's tailor-made to make big gains in the House and the Senate and state houses all across the country, and yet that didn't happen. And in fact, we even lost ground in the U.S. Senate. And so, I think we need a change. I think we need to get some new blood in the RNC. I like what Harmeet Dillon has said about getting the RNC out of D.C. Why would you want to have your headquarters in the most Democrat city in America? It's more Democrat than San Francisco is.
Look, it's obvious. Everyone knows it. Everyone sees it. She's not the right person for the job, yet she remains. There's something inorganic, unauthentic about Ronna McDaniel's presence in the party in general. But at the end of the day, I mean, it is what it is. What's new? GOP voters having to contend with GOP saboteurs is nothing new. Moving forward at this point, you gotta make do with what you got. Mitch McConnell's the leader of the Senate. It is what it is. Kevin McCarthy's the Speaker of the House, and Ronna McDaniel is the RNC chairwoman. It's a little bit of a bad news bears situation, but it also is what it is. It's been man versus machine for a while. Grassroots versus the establishment, nothing really has changed. If anything, it shows that it's time for the grassroots efforts to ramp up. The kind of thing that Scott Pressler, for instance, is doing. It's time to step up the game, because the RNC isn't just going to give up. They're not going to hand over the party to the will of the Republican voter. Even though that's kind of their job, they're never actually going to do that. So it's time to get active, because this next election is going to be contested. Highly, highly contested. The Democrats come together, they form one machine, and they aim directly on their target, right on Donald Trump. Well, it's a little bit different here. Republican voters have to target the Democrats. They got to beat the Democrats, and they got to beat their own party, or at least the leadership of their own party. It makes it a little bit more difficult, to say the least, just a little bit more difficult. But you know what? It's not impossible. It may be a little bit more difficult. It just means it takes a little bit more effort. And so hopefully the response to the last couple of election cycles isn't the black pill, and instead is a more active electorate, holding Republican elected representatives accountable, passing the right laws, the right integrity laws, and of course playing the same game that the Democrats play, getting in the mud, so to speak, because like Larry Elder always says, you got a country to save from the grip of the Democrat and Republican establishment, the Washington Uniparty. Life's not supposed to be easy, and this is just another one of life's challenges. It's not ideal, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Thanks for watching, folks. That's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. I want to thank you guys for watching, and of course, hopefully, I'll see you on the next one.